What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction. Back with an early rave tune. Indeed, I'm going to put this in the early rave playlist, though it is a bit on the borderline. The early rave tracks playlist I created is essentially for tunes from like 91 to 93 in the really early days when maybe even the rave, or the word rave, wasn't being used consistently, like underground was still, I think, often used. But yeah, they're tunes, often house tracks and some early techno, which just have this certain flavor, and ultimately by the time you get to 94, 95, I think both, genres like house and trance and techno were definitely shifting, and, some of my favorite stuff is when you get to like 96, 97, 98. But yeah, I do enjoy a number of early tracks, and Sophia mentioned that she's a fan of the tune Insomnia by Faithless. And ultimately, it's a track that I've known for a long time, but as I learned recently, and we're going to listen to the monster mix, by the way, which I believe is the most commonly used version of the track. But yeah, I realized it's only the final third, or maybe even the final quarter of the tune that I know well, which is that uplifting, very elegant melody. And when I listened to the full monster mix not too long ago, I remember thinking, like, this opening part, I wouldn't even recognize it. If you asked me what tune this is without telling me, I just, I have no idea. I would never come up with Insomnia. So, who doesn't have Insomnia? It's this little Luca right here. But let's listen. This is Faithless and their track Insomnia, and I do believe it's the monster mix. And I believe it's 1995, but the track that I downloaded shows 96, so perhaps it comes... at least, was ripped from a later single release, but I do believe it's originally from 95. Hence my comment about it being a bit on the border for an early rave track. I think it might have come from a mix CD or something right there. See what they're doing here.
And here we are, 3:30 in the morning. I can't get no sleep.
Some of the speed garage vibe.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Bouncy bass. Double time pat. Little syncopated clap rhythm. Oof. Oh, the double time ride cymbal. I talked about it before. There's a lot of really good techno where the ride cymbal plays a crucial role. It's a little element I'm very fond of. Little ambient pad. The jazzy keys, of course. With a bit of warp on them. Back in the 90s, I was legit insomniac for a while. Put the theatrical drama to it. Thunder for good measure. The bass starts to tumble. This almost sounds like it could be a platypus track, like an atmospheric trance tune. Classic snare roll, I mean, it's 95, come on. Pulsating bass, you would say? A big call and response with the tonal back and forth. It does sound like a platypus track in this middle phase, which is a label run by Simon Barry, Union Jack, a number of other duos and groups. I do think we're getting close to the section, the one section I would have remembered until recently.
Yeah, I only smoke weed when I need to, and I need to get some rest. Yo, where's the sense? I confess, I burned a hole in the mattress. Yes, yes, it was me. I plead guilty, and at the
At least he's acknowledging
I
this
pull
role.
back the duvet, make my way
The
to
duvet.
the refrigerator. One dry potato inside, no lie, not even bread. Jam when the light above my head went bam. I can't see, something's all over me. Greasy insomnia, please release me and let me dream about making mad love on the heath. Tearing off tights with my teeth, but there's no relief. I'm wide awake in my kitchen. It's black and I'm lonely. Oh, if I could only get some sleep. Creaky noises make my skin creep. I need to get some sleep. I can't get no sleep.
Come on. So again, as a young raver in the mid-90s, when I heard this, I was like, I have to get turntables. You know, it wasn't just this tune, of course. There was a number of tracks, but more on that after the track. I like, it's sort of business-like in the drop there. It's not an overly elaborate build-up and drop. It doesn't have, huge cymbal crashes and so on. It is on repeat. So you remember these things sometimes, at least almost in time. But yeah, I remember Tasso saying, you know, that's one of the things that he's noticed, and that a lot of the, you know, 91, 92, 93 real classics, they evolve. They're like, you know, 7-8 minute journeys, and it's not all the same atmosphere. And this one, again, it starts in a very house, like speed garage vein, like bubbling bass and so on, and then ultimately it gets into that middle section, and eventually we get lyrics and sort of a vocal performance that's kind of like somewhere between hip-hop and R&B, and then it leads into themes that are directly related to not being able to sleep, and boom, the classic melody arrives. So I do love the way the track unfolds. A total classic. And once again, shout out to the people who have mentioned some of these tunes, like Tassos in particular, I would say. And there's, again, I do believe there's like 4 or 5 that he had mentioned back in the day that I still haven't gotten to, so I'll get to those eventually. But yeah, to anyone who may have insomnia out there, which is definitely not this girl, I hope you get much sleep and are able to rest blissfully. In any case, do let me know what you think of the track. And from Luca, the non-insomniac kitten, and I will see you next time. Peace.